I knew she'd done it the moment I saw the flyers. Bright orange, my design, my font, my haunted house logo. Only the name was different, hers. Melissa's 12-year Halloween tradition. 12 years? Funny considering I'd only started building it 3 years ago, alone. I stood there in the grocery store aisle holding that flyer like it was a live wire. My knuckles went white, and I swear I could hear my own pulse over the freezer hum. The cashier asked if I was okay. I said yes, but my jaw was tight enough to crack teeth. Melissa, my older sister, golden child since birth. Always with the practiced smile, the tears on cue, the charm that made people believe she hung the moon. We used to be close once. She'd braid my hair before school, whisper how proud she was of me for being the creative one. But she also took my drawings to school and signed her name on them. Said it was a joke. Said I was too sensitive. This wasn't a joke. The haunted house had been my escape. I spent months on it, saving every dollar from night shifts and scrapping old construction wood behind the mill. I designed each scare, each sound cue, each animatronic with surgical precision. It wasn't just decoration, it was storytelling. Every creak, every whisper, every cold draft had purpose. And when it was done, when I turned on the final lighting rig and the house breathed to life, it felt like proof that I could create something bigger than myself, something that would outlive the small, silent girl who always stood in her sister's shadow. But then, a week before Halloween, she stole it. She posted photos, interviews. Local news did a segment. Melissa's legendary haunted house returns, this time bigger than ever. They even showed my blueprints pinned on her wall in the background, blurred just enough to hide my initials. I didn't confront her right away. No, I waited. Anger makes people stupid. Patience makes them scared. I spent the next few days collecting receipts, permits, emails. I had everything, dates, payments, even camera footage from my garage. Then I made copies, digital and printed. I backed them up in 3 places. She thought she'd taken something easy to steal, a spectacle, a set of decorations. She forgot it was my art. When I went home that weekend, my mother was already in on it. Melissa said she's nervous about the crowd this year, she said, while stirring coffee, not looking at me. You'll help her, right? After all, you're good at that spooky stuff. That spooky stuff. My $24,000 and 6 months of my life reduced to a hobby in her tone. Sure, I said. I smiled and she relaxed. That was when I knew I'd let them both dig their graves. The night before Halloween, I visited the house under the pretense of helping set up. She was there, all smiles and lipstick, rehearsing her lines for the mayor's arrival. God, you wouldn't believe how exhausting this is, she laughed. But it's worth it. Tradition, you know. I said nothing. Just nodded, scanning the lights, the fog machines, the props. Everything exactly as I'd built it. Perfect. I remotely killed the power grid to the property. My system, my control. Then I flipped the master key and locked every automated feature she didn't even know existed. The doors, the lights, the triggers, all offline. By 7 a.m., city inspectors were already there. Someone, me, had sent them a detailed report of safety violations, unregistered installations, and structural risks, with photos, and a note requesting immediate shutdown before public access. By noon, Melissa was pacing the driveway, her perfect hair damp from the fog, shouting into her phone about misunderstandings. The mayor never came. The news crew didn't either, but I did. When she saw me, her face shifted. Shock, then realization. You did this, she hissed. I built it, I said simply. Her lips trembled, but before she could respond, my mother stepped out of the house. She looked at the inspectors, then at me. What did you do, sweetheart? She asked softly, as if I'd ruined her dream. I handed her the folder. Receipts, permits, time-stamped footage. I took back what's mine. She stared, then said the words that still sting like frostbite. "You just couldn't let her have her moment, could you?" That was the moment I understood the hierarchy of love in our family. Melissa was the sun. I was the shadow. But I didn't crumble. Not this time. Instead, I let them watch as I signed a document, proof of ownership transfer, to myself. A quiet finale to months of planning. By the next morning, my haunted house wasn't Melissa's scandal anymore. It was my exhibit. I opened it 2 days later under my name with a sign at the entrance, "Authenticity doesn't need permission." Tickets sold out. People called it the best horror experience in the state. Melissa didn't show up. Mom didn't either.